Hey everyone, welcome back to Disney Sorcerer. So previously I did a video on all of the tunes that you need to be able to open the Huntsman. And since this is the last day of the first run of the Evil Queen event, and I did the Huntsman version, I figured I should do all the tunes that you need for the lovely, super legendary Evil Queen. So as you can see, it says Snow White, Huntsman, 4 princesses, Snow White, Huntsman, Alice, Ralph, and then another princess, 2 princesses, Alice, Ralph, Huntsman, 2 princesses, then Snow White, Huntsman, Alice, Captain Lightyear, another princess, same thing here, same thing here, same thing here. Okay. Well, you might imagine that that's quite the ordeal, and it is. And roughly speaking, it will take you 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, somewhere around 35 and 38 tunes total. Probably 38, but there's a little spillover that we'll get into. So let's get into it. So obviously, first thing it says, you need 4 princesses. Okay. Where's the princess? Okay, so I've got princesses locked up here. You can see the ones that I've started. You had Snow White, which we talked about in the previous video. So you need 7 tunes just for Snow White. Snow White becomes the 8th. So you're already up to 8 tunes just for this. Just for one character. Then, if you did the 10 essential tunes, then you already have Moana. Because she's a princess that you happen to need for Maleficent. Tiana, also a member of the 10 essential tunes. She's one of the 10. Then there's Merida, because Merida is very easy to access and very good in this game. And there's Ariel. Ariel is going to be right along with Merida, very easy to access early in the game. Of course, you could go with the leadership with Rapunzel. You could go with any of the others. If you go with, Ariel's going to help you get to a speed zone, so is Moana. If you're looking that way. But you really go with the end. But for the purposes of speed and efficiency and the 10 essential tunes, the 4 that I would go with Snow White would be Ariel, Merida, Tiana, and Mulan. Moving on. So that takes care of the princess portion of this thing. That's Huntsman. That doesn't help. Then it says you need Huntsman, who we had talked about. You need 15 tunes just for Huntsman. And so there's 15 tunes here for Huntsman. Huntsman himself. That makes 16. Snow White is part of that. Is part and parcel of that. So, and then the 3 princesses. So just for this first tier, you're gonna need 15 just to get that Huntsman. The Huntsman makes 16, and then you're gonna need 4 other princesses. So that's 20 characters you're gonna need just for tier 1 of this. For tier 2, again we have the 15th for Huntsman, and then Snow White, so that's 17. Alice and Ralph. Okay, Alice and Ralph, cool. Who do you need for Alice and Ralph? Okay. And we'll start with Ralph since he's on the bottom. And quite simply, you need Shank, Fix-It Felix, Calhoun, Vanellope, King Candy, and Ralph. So you need 5. So you need 5, so that's 6. For Alice, you need the same number of tunes. For Alice in Wonderland, you need the same number of tunes. Now, don't worry. I realized that I didn't go where to get the princesses. I'm going to do that now. But you need Caterpillar, March Hare, White Rabbit, Cheshire Cat, Mad Hatter, and Alice to get Alice. So basically, that means for this portion of the White Queen event, the second and third nodes, you need 15 plus him equals 16. Alice is another 6, so that's Alice is another 6, so that's 22 plus another 6, and that's 28. So 15 to get him, no, 15 to get to him because Snow White is part of that. So 15 to get to him, so 15 plus him at 16. Plus 6 each from either of these two is 28. And then you need another princess, so it's 29. For both 2 and 3. Okay? Before we go in any deeper, I'm going to show you where the princesses and the Wreck-It Ralph tunes are, which of course you can find for yourself, but I'm just going to help you out here. So obviously I talked about Ariel being very early in the game. She is. She's in 3E of the Grand Campaign. She's in 3B of the Villain Campaign. She's also in the Premium Exchange and the Tournament Exchange. So, take that. Merida, very early in the game also. And I'm just going to do the ones that I recommended, by the way. She's in 2B of the Villain Campaign, so very early. 6E, so a little bit later in the Grand Campaign. And 8D of the Villain Campaign. Tiana, she's a member of the 10 Essential, but the only place where she's available is still the energy event for the time being. Mulan, who I talked about from as somebody you need for Maleficent, who was one of the 10 Essential tunes. 6A in the Grand Campaign. 8A in the Villain Campaign. I'll take this to Wreck-It Ralph and these guys. I should just show you because it's easier to do it that way. They're in the side campaign if you haven't guessed already. And the Wreck-It Ralph side campaign is right here. They're all right here. The first Calhoun, Shank, and King Candy, you can all farm these first 3 nodes with Grand Campaign energy. Then after that you need regular campaign energy for everybody else. And that's what they are. Then we go to Alice. Alice is right here. Right in the same thing, and you can get the first 3 characters also. That being the March Hare, Caterpillar, White Rabbit, right here. Then you need Grand Campaign for the rest of them. Just like normal. So we're through the first 3 nodes of this ordeal. And why did I just click on the Huntsman again? I don't know why. But then, to get, for the rest of this, you need Captain Lightyear. Okay? So, Captain Lightyear, to get Captain Lightyear, you have to have basically the same thing. What we've talked about previously, you have one mandatory tune, and that mandatory tune is socks, just like in the Tigger event, or the Winnie the Pooh event, when you need Eeyore to get to Tigger, and then Eeyore and Tigger to get to Winnie the Pooh. Here you need socks. You need socks. But the problem with socks is the only place where you can get socks is in the Buzz Lightyear thing. Is in the Buzz Lightyear event itself. Or you can buy it through the Interstellar chest, which is going on right now, or you can buy it socks bundle, or, you know, all this stuff. But that's the only place where he is. So, I'm going to have to make sure I cash out and get as many socks tokens as you can see. See here, I have 30 right now. But other than that, you need Calhoun, who we've already talked about. It's going to help you because she's in the Wreck-It Ralph thing. So you're already going to have her from the Wreck-It Ralph event because she's Interstellar. Buzz, because he's in the game, and you're going to need him for Toy Story events or for the Toy Story Ascension campaign. Emperor Zurg also. You can talk about where you can get Buzz in case you don't know. Buzz is on Toy Story, which is another side campaign. He's on 1C of the Toy Story campaign. Aside from that, he's on 3D of the Villain campaign, 3A of the Green campaign, and 1H of the Toy Story side campaign. So he's very accessible. Socks, we already talked about Calhoun. We talked about Emperor Zurg. Zurg is in the Tournament Exchange now. And he's in the VIP Exchange. So the only place you can get Zurg is in the Tournament Exchange. So we'll just take a look at that real quick. Right here. 2. You can only do 2, so if you start on this today, it will take you about, you know, if you're doing this once a day, which you can do it multiple times a day. It just depends on how much stuff you have, so you can probably do it, if you went at it 3 times a day, you could have it in, I don't know, it's too late to do that math. But anyway, that's the only place where he is. And so that's 3. And so that leaves you with, so that's obviously 4. Now, Wally, the only place you can get him is in the event, the Wally and Eve event. So I don't recommend doing that. But Eve you can get. So you have your question, and this is where and because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you have 4, and you only need 1 more of these to get. So this is why it's 35, 38-ish. So you have to pick which one you're going to get. Do you want to use Gantu? Do you want to use Eve? Or do you want to use Stitch? Now Gantu and Stitch have an Ascension thing. Just like Buzz and Emperor Zurg do. And so I will just take you through and show you, but you only need one of these last 3 tunes I'm showing you. Assuming that you use the other 4. But Gantu is on 1B of the Lilo and Stitch campaign, and he's on 1G of the Lilo and Stitch campaign, which is another side campaign like the other ones I showed you. Eve is on. He was in a grand. She's in 5A of the grand campaign, and she's in 5D of the villain campaign. If you want her. If you want Stitch, Stitch is in 2A of the Lilo and Stitch side campaign, and he's super expensive. Other than that, Interstellar packs, basically your only bet. But anyway, that is the rundown of all of the 35, 38, however many tunes that you need to get Evil Queen. And obviously you could work on part 1, get that done, move on to part 2, get that done. Part 2 and part 3 will get you to there, but that's still not going to give you enough to get her open. You need to get all the way to 5 like I did to be able to get her open. So keep that in mind. But anyway, it is a long journey. A lot of tunes, you got, and you don't have to do the princess I recommended. They were just the ones that were easiest to get to. They were the easiest, Tiana. Tiana is an essential tune. Mulan helps you get in the essential tune. You guys know how I love Merida. Ariel helps you get speed stones. We talked about the princesses, Alice. It's just a lot. There's a lot to get through, and if you decide that you want one, and keep in mind, most of these tunes will need to be. All of these guys will need to be at least Gear 8. All of them. So even if you say, hey, I'm going to do Wreck-It Ralph and get them done, cool. Get all 6 of them, get them geared 8, you're done. Move on. Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, congratulations. You're just signed up to get 8 more wild, 7 more wild tunes geared up and a kingdom. So it's a lot to do. But I'm going to be very curious because I'll tell you what I'm doing with this account. This is my newest free-to-play account. I've only had it about 3 months. I'm doing the long screen strip. I'm doing the 10 essential tunes. Then after the 10 essential tunes, I'm going to see how long it takes me to get all of these after I get done with the 10 essential tunes, I'm going to shift in and go for the Evil Queen. So, but in here we have one tune who helps me get to the 10 essential tunes, another tune who is an essential tune, another tune who helps me get another essential tune right here, another who helps me get. So there is value. There's definitely value in this, in doing the 10 essential tunes, because just doing the 10 essential tunes the 10 essential tunes that I recommended, you're gonna get 5. You're gonna get 5. You're gonna get two characters. You're gonna get 2 characters that are essential tunes in Caterpillar and Tiana. Then you're gonna get a helper a helper, a helper, and, oh yeah, another helper, because Elsa is one of the 10 essential talents. So you don't have to do that, but I think it'd be worth your time. Anyway, guys, if you like what I'm doing, if you think this is helpful, leave me a comment, and leave me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you. Till then, have a good day. We'll see you. Bye.